Hello, good morning, my dear students. This is the new topic related to our flow sheet, that is water treatment process. In the previous section or in the previous lecture, we have discussed in detail about the flow sheet of water treatment process, and after this, and the various components and their uses regarding the water treatment process. Now, the first important process and the component which is involved in the water treatment process is aeration, and today we are going to see in detail about the important aspects of aeration, that how the aeration is important in the water treatment process, how the aerations is achieved, and what are the various types of aerators involved in the treatment of water. So first of all, what is aeration? That it is the unit operation important unit operation of water treatment process, in which the gases are transferred with each other. Means in this process the gases are either released or absorbed from water, or are dissolved in the water. This is achieved by exposing the water through the spray or bubble aeration to either air or other atmosphere. Under normal condition, increase or in reduce pressure. Okay. This is an important unit operation which is carried out for water purification process, and various following and various other important aspects and various other important objectives are also achieved. Means first of all, you have to understand this, that it is a unit operation. In the previous sections we have seen that there are in the water treatment process there are various types of unit operations and unit processes. Means in the unit operation process, means the water means the water is treated by itself, either by releasing the gases or by chemically, etc., etc. And in the various types of processes, means we are involved with certain activities by maintaining their characteristics of up to the desired limit, and maintaining up to its chemical characteristics and its bacterial logical characteristics. Means, and similarly it is the gas transfers, means the water releases and absorb the gases from the within the water surface. Means either ab kaise karenge, means either in the form of spray or in the form of bubble, by exposing the air, by exposing the water into the atmosphere and gaining the atmospheric oxygen into the water. So the aim of the aeration is to create extensive, new and self-renewing interfaces between air and water. Means we have to create two surfaces, means air and water, and these surfaces, means extensive renewing surfaces, become thoroughly will mix with each other, and to keep interfacial films form a building up in the thickness lines. Means we have to form a two film theory, and these two films, that is of the air and water, should be mixed thoroughly with each other, and therefore the unwanted gases will oxidize in the contact with each other, and the fresh oxygen will be absorbed by the water. Okay. Now it is adopted to remove, why it is used? It is adopted to remove the objectionable taste, odor, and to remove unwanted dissolved gases. Okay. Now what are the various types of aerators? Broadly there are two types or three types of aerators. Means that is gravity aerator and non-gravity aerator. That non-gravity aerator are further classified into two types, that is spray aerator and air diffuser aerators. Means if somebody asks you that what are the various types of aerators, you have to simply answer them that there are two types of aerator, that is gravity aerator and non-gravity aerator. means that is what is non-gravity aerators means the water does not flow under the gravitational force, whereas in the gravity aerator means the aeration process takes place under the action of gravitational force. Now the further that non-gravity aerator are classified into two types, that is spray aerator and air diffuser aerator. Now now the gravity aerator or the free fall aerator are further classified into four types, that is cascade aerator, inclined apron aerator, slack tray aerator and gravel bed aerator. Okay, so one by one we will first see the types of gravity aerator and later we will see the non-gravity aerator. So this is one of the most important type of aerator, that is the cascade aerator, and it is known as the simplest form of the aerator, means the waterfalls and weir are a kind of cascade aerator, and the cascade aerator consists of 3 to 5 steps of concrete, and water is allowed to fall through a height of 1 to 3 meter, and due to this it comes in contact with the atmospheric air. The reduction of CO2 is up to the 50 to 60% in the process. Now how the cascade aerator seems, this is the actual working diagram or working photo of the cascade aerator, means we will first release the water into the from the inlet pipe at the center of the cascade aerator, and the water flow from that cascade aerator from the various types of steps, that is these steps are called as cascades, and when the water fall from one cascade to the other cascade, water comes into the contact of the atmospheric air, and here and hence the water gets in contact with the atmospheric oxygen with it, and therefore the way the other dissolved oxygen or dissolved gases which is in the water gets oxidized into the atmospheric air, and the water gets free from objectionable gases, and the atmospheric oxygen gets absorbed into the water, and hence the water dissolved oxygen level it's increased and water gets oxidized. So this is the actually working diagram, that is the raw water it's first releases from once from the top, and water is flow from the top to bottom under the action of gravitational force, and therefore it is called as the gravity fall of aerator, that is cascade aerator. This is the first type of aerator, and we will again see the working phenomena of it, that it is the simplest form of aerator, that is we will release the water from the inlet pipe at the top of the cascade, and water will fall from the various types of cascade from one step to last. Generally the cascades consist of 3 to 5 steps of concrete, and water is allowed to fall through a height of 1 to 3 meter, that is, and it is the total height of the cascade, that is from bottom to the top it is about 1 to 3 meter, and due to this it comes in contact with the atmospheric air. The reduction of CO2 is up to 50 to 60%, and hence the atmospheric oxygen oxidize in the water, and the water gets aerated with the help of atmospheric air. Now the next type of aerator is inclined apron aerator. It is a similar type of cascade aerator, but here we have replaced the cascade with the riffle plates, means with the riffle plates mean the steel plates. Okay. In this type of aerator, water is allowed to fall along an inclined plane, that is you can see the diagram, that is the water is allowed to fall from the inclined plane, and hence that is apron on which the fixed with riffle plates, that is steel plates are fixed into it. When the water gets come into these riffle plates or the steel plates, water breaks its path, and hence there is a agitation comes into it, and therefore the breaking up of the sheet of water will cause agitation of water, and consequent the aeration process will takes place, and hence the water get aerated. मतलब यहाँ पे वाटर पे क्या होगा, एक ब्रेकिंग आएगी, देयरफॉर वाटर यहाँ पे क्या होगा, जंप होगा। जब जैसे ही वाटर जंप होगा, वाटर में एटमॉस्फेरिक एयर मिक्स होगी, and hence that into the jumping of water through the steel plates, the water will get aerate with the help of these ripple plates. Therefore such type of aerator or the such type of phenomena of aeration process is called as inclined apron aerator. It is similar to the cascade aerator, but here the surface is inclined and the replacement of cascade in the form of ripple plates. Now next type of slat aerator is the slat tray aerator. Okay, it consists the next type of aerator is slat tray aerator. Now it consists of a closed round or square structure containing a series of closely stacked superimposed wood tray. You can see there are various types of trays of wooden panel are attached into it. This is the figure of the slat tray aerator, and I will first tell you the construction of the slat tray aerator. That first at the top it is ventilator, it is the inlet of the pipe, and at the attach of the inlet it is there are various types of distributor. This is a top pan which cover the water. Ventilator means the water gets oxidized or excess the waste gas will release from this ventilator. Removable panel means we can remove the panel or attach the panel from of the trays from here. This is the screen, means if some floating matters if there, so we can remove that floating matter with the help of screens. And here is the collector panel, that is the water gets collect under the action of gravity, and further after this collection panel the water gets into the next component, and here this is the outlet of the chamber. So water gets first, so what is the working of it? The water gets first entered through this inlet pipe into the aerator and gets distributed over the surface of the aerator with the help of distributor pipe. So with these are the nozzles are which can be shown into the distributor pipe, and hence the nozzle distributed the water into the trays, and hence the trays transfer the water from one tray to the another tray, which can be seen in the below, that there are various types of series of water trays which is placed alternatively into each other, and hence the water gets collected under the action of gravity by alternatively placed tray. ठीक है, मीन्स एक ट्रे से वो वाटर जब आगे बढ़ेगा तो वो दूसरे ट्रे पे फॉल होगा, दूसरे से तीसरे ट्रे पे फॉल होगा, तीसरे से चौथे ट्रे पे फॉल होगा, और ऐसे करते करते लास्ट में स्क्रीन से पास होते हुए लास्ट में वो आउटलेट रूप में आ जाएगा. नाउ हाउ द एरेशन अचीव? While transferring the water from the one tray to the another tray, the water gets oxidized under the action of atmospheric air, and hence the odor or the objectionable gases will oxidize and it will remove through this ventilator section, and hence the aeration process can be achieved. So this is the another type of gravity aerator, but here the wooden trays are attached into it. So how the working? Here it is written that the water enters from the top of the aerator and eventually distributed over the topmost layer. The water is transferred from the top layer to the bottom layer through various trays. Now air is supplied from the bottom. Now कहाँ पे एयर सप्लाइड? यहाँ पे फ्रॉम द बॉटम से हम एयर सप्लाइड करते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ ब्लोअर विच ब्लोज इट अपवर्ड. कहाँ किसको ब्लो कर रही है? वो एयर को ब्लो करेंगे, विच ब्लोज इट अपवर्ड. एंड व्हेन द वाटर इज कमिंग इनटू द टुवर्ड्स द डाउनवर्ड सेक्शन अंडर द एटमॉस्फेरिक एक्शन, एयर इज ऑल्सो अचीव्ड, but sometimes we are also attached a blower from the downward, means when the water is coming towards the downward section, the blower is run from the downward to upward section, so that the ventilator excess air can be released from the ventilator. And this is the process, means from the when the traveling duration of water from inlet to the outlet, the blower is run at the bottom, and that blower will oxidize the objectionable gases from the water to the ventilator. A ventilator is provided at the top which discharges unwanted gases upward to the atmosphere, and hence the water is then collected at the collector pan and then further discharges. So in this fashion the aeration process is achieved. Now similarly the gravel bed aerator is also works. Now here also we will first see the construction of the gravel bed aerator. You can see from the top that the water inlet pipe is attached into it. This is the cast iron pipe, and over this the various types of laterals are attached into, that is the distributor pipe. At the center, this is the gravel bed, that is the bed of the gravel, and at the bottom there is a blower, that is the motor driven fan, that is the blower, means we will run the blower from the bottom, and after the percolation from the gravel bed, water is then collected at the bottom, and the aerated water further collected from the channel and passed into the other section. Okay. Now how the working of this aerator takes place? First, initially the water will comes into the inlet pipe of the aerator and gets distributed by the lateral holes and distributed over the surface of the gravel bed. And when the water is distributed over the gravel bed, water will percolate from the gravel by drop, and while percolating by the gravel bed, we will run the motor driven blower, means we will run the blower from the bottom, and that blower will pass through the through the voids of the gravel and will pass through the water, and the unwanted gases will get oxidized, and hence this blowed air will carry that unwanted gases from the water to the upward direction, and it will release from the ventilator process, and hence in this fashion our water gets oxidized and water gets aerated. And similarly the percolated water will get collect at this bottom, and it can be seen at the water level, and the water can be further collected at the bottom, that is in the aerated water channel, and it can be passed into the other component for various other processes. So there is also a component seen in the figure, that is drain, means while washing the gravel bed we will use the additional water so that the water can be used for cleaning the bed, and for that after cleaning the bed we can use the drain valve so that the excess drained water or excess clean water can be removed from the section of drain. So in this aerator, water is applied at the top and trickles down through the bed of gravel, while air is applied in upward direction. The thickness of gravel bed may be from 1 to 1.5 meter, means the thickness of gravel bed यहाँ पे 1 to 1.5 meter. In another form, that is in trickling beds, 3 to 4 layers are filled with coke, that is coals, slag or limestone. In the thickness of bed is generally 0.5 to 0.6 meter, while the vertical distance between the total aerator is about 1 to 3 meter, kept as constant. Okay. Now the spray aerator. this is the type of non-gravity aerator. We have seen the types of gravity aerator up till now. That is the 4 types of aerator. That is the cascade aerator, inclined apron aerator, slat tray aerator, and gravel bed aerator. Now we will see the non-gravity aerator, that is the spray aerator. Now the spray aerators divide the water flow into the fine stream and small droplets which come into intimate contact with the water in the trajectory form. Means simply the water is aerate with the help of spray, and directly it can be aerate into the non-aeration process, non-gravitational process, and the water is sprinkled through the nozzles. This is the important non-gravity aeration process, that is the air diffusion aerator process. In this method, the perforated pipe network is installed at the bottom of the tank and the compressed air is blown through this pipe. You may see that there is various the pipe, there is an assembly of perforated pipe. Means there is a small pipes opening of pipes is placed over the tank, and the water, the compressed air is passed through these pipes into the form of compressed air, and water is first filled into the tank and then compressed air is run. When the compressed air passed through the perforated pipe network, the bubbles are run into the pipe, and these bubbles travel upward water, thus causing the process of aeration. The compressed air may be injected into the flow of water, and however the aeration under the pressure does not remove the CO2. Okay. So up till now we have seen the various types of aerators and what is the use of aeration. So these are the references which you have to take, that is water supply engineering book, that is volume 1 from the SK Garg, water supply engineering volume 1 BC Punmiya, and we have taken the images from the Google. So first of all, again I am repeating the aeration process, that aeration is a gas transfer process. Means it forms a two layer between air and the water, and it will either release and dissolve from water or absorb or dissolve the water. This is achieved by exposing the water through spray or bubble aeration to either air or to the atmosphere under normal condition or under the pressure condition. So this is the importance of aeration. So we have seen up till now. So what are the basic objectives which we have to learn from the aeration process is that first is removal of objectionable gases such as CO2, H2S and volatile odorous substances by spray or bubble aeration. Second, demagnetization of water. Third, addition of ozone from the ozone generator or chlorine gas. Fourth, addition of CO2 from the gas or carbon dioxide gases to recarbonate lime softened water, and for the removal of corrosion promoting oxygen as well as other gasification by spraying water into vacuum chamber. So these are the basic objectives. मतलब हमको 4 ऑब्जेक्टिव अचीव करना है. सबसे पहला अचीव क्या करना है ये याद रखिए. पहला कि हमको रिमूवल गैसेस रिमूव करना है, स्पेशली CO2, H2S. नंबर 2, हमें डीमैग्नेटाइजेशन ऑफ वाटर करना है, यानी हमें अगर उसमें कोई भी ऐसे कोई प्रोसेस है जिसमें अंदर वाटर को ख़राब हुआ है तो वो प्रोसेस को डीमैग्नेटाइज करना है. थर्ड, अगर उसमें कोई भी ऑब्जेक्शनेबल गैसेस, ऑब्जेक्शनेबल टेस्ट आता है, ऑर्डर आता है विद बाय द एडिशन ऑफ ओजोन, अगर ओजोन की वजह से कोई एडिशन ऑफ, क्योंकि ओजोन इट्स अ डिसइंफेक्शन प्रोसेस, तो वो हमें रिमूव करना है. एंड फोर्थ हमें जब लाइम सोडा प्रोसेस जब हम यूज़ करते हैं फॉर द सॉफ्टनिंग ऑफ वाटर तो CO2 जनरेट होता है, इसलिए हमें उसको लिए यूज़ करना पड़ता है एरेशन. फिफ्थ कि हमें कोरोजन प्रोमोटिंग कोई कंपोनेंट अगर प्रेजेंट है तो वो उसको भी हमें रिमूव करना है. So these are the various objectives related to the aeration. Hope you have understood the content. If you have not, please write in the comment section. Okay, this is all about today's lecture. Thank you.